Dream Flow. My name is Elisa, and in this practice, we'll be focusing on heart opening. So, lots of upper back bends, easing tension in the shoulders and the upper back. So, if you happen to have a couple of yoga blocks, grab those. If not, no worries. You can just lie on your mat without the blocks. I'll give you options. So if you're working with blocks, you're going to take a tall block toward the top of your mat where your head goes, and then about 4 inches in front, a medium block horizontally. You'll sit about 6 inches in front of that, and then lie back so bottom tip of your shoulder blades catches the first block, and the back of your head rests on the second block. If that feels like too deep of a back bend for your body at this time, just press yourself back up and take each block down by one setting, and that should do the trick. If you don't have blocks, you'll just lie on your mat, flat on your mat. Then once you're down on your mat, decide if you would like to stretch your legs long and let your feet fall off to the sides, or if you'd rather bring soles of the feet together and knees wide in a Baddha Konasana shape. So see which feels better to you at this time. And then bring your hands a little bit higher so your arms are more in line with your shoulders, which is going to give you more opening across the chest. Allow your eyes to close if they haven't already, and take a breath in through your nose, and exhale, slowly release out your mouth. Take another inhale through the nose, exhale slowly out the mouth. And from here, allow the lips to seal and begin to breathe in and out just through your nose. Observe the temperature of the air coming in through the nostrils, and notice if it feels just a little bit warmer as it releases back out through the nostrils. Observe the rise and fall of your chest in sync with your breath. Feel your ribs expanding and contracting. Notice the belly filling up as you inhale, and the navel drawing toward the spine as you exhale. Notice again the chest rising as you inhale, and just notice the shoulders releasing if you're on a block, maybe beginning to wrap around the block slightly. With each exhale, find a little bit more ease. We'll begin to gradually deepen and lengthen the breath. Also make the breath audible as you inhale and as you exhale. And find a balance in the duration of inhalations and exhalations, so the breath is flowing smoothly and audibly in and out through the nose throughout the practice, warming the body from the inside out and giving you a focal point to come back to should your mind wander. And now begin to stretch your legs long if they aren't already, and activate your legs. So flexing your feet and bringing the feet in line with the hips. Then bring your arms alongside of your thighs, palms face in toward the thighs. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, reach back behind you. Clasp opposite elbows and stretch your forearms back behind you. Reach the heels forward. Get long. If you're on a block, just notice that sensation of the block pressing into the shoulder blades, lifting them toward the chest. And now switch whichever forearm is on top, and again stretch the forearms away from the soles of the feet. Breathe in and exhale. Release the clasp of the elbows, point the toes and stretch the arms back behind you. Reach the fingers away from the toes. Breathe in, get long.
As you exhale, bend your elbows, bring them in line with your shoulders, flex the feet. Inhale, reach back, point the toes. Exhale, flex, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Inhale, reach and point the toes. Exhale, flex and bend at the elbows. Inhale, reach back, point the toes, and exhale, flex the feet, bend the elbows, pause here, just feel the arms being heavy, sinking toward the floor, and notice the expansion across the chest. Collarbones widen as the shoulder blades draw together on the back, just using the weight of the arms. And then we'll go ahead and stretch the arms back behind you, palms face up, and just take a half circle coming around toward your thighs. From here, palms down, bend one knee, foot on the mat, bend other knee, foot on the mat. If you're on blocks, just roll off to the side, take your blocks and set them aside. You can even place them at the top of the mat in case you want to use them later. Then everyone meet back down on your back. And from here, just bringing knees into the chest. And with one hand on each kneecap, keeping the thighs together, circle the knees in the same direction. And then go other direction. And then we'll pause, and from here just take the hands on the knees and bring the knees out to the side. Press the back into the mat, take a big breath in, filling up across the chest. And exhale, knees together, roll to your side, and slowly press yourself up to a seated position. From here, just sitting with the legs crossed, either sitting on a blanket, which is a great idea if you have tight hips, or directly on your mat. So go ahead and bring the hands onto the shoulders and circle back and around, just getting a little bit of lubrication into the shoulder joints. And then reverse, take your circles forward. And then go ahead and pause your circles. The elbows are out wide. Breathe in, feel your chest expand. Exhale and draw your elbows toward one another. Bow your chin into your chest. As you inhale again, draw the navel to the spine and lift the sternum up toward the ceiling. Let your head release back any amount that works for your neck. Elbows wide. Then exhale and draw the elbows together, chin to chest. Inhale, arch back, expanding across the heart region. And exhale, feel that space between the shoulder blades broaden. Inhale and notice the shoulder blades draw together on the back. Exhale and round it. Take a few more rounds on your own, moving at your pace and in sync with your breath. And as you complete your next round, pause and just release your hands onto your knees. Inhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears, and exhale, let them drop down. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, release. Inhale and shrug. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more. From here, arms sweep out and up. Clasp your palms. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, side bend over to your right. Root your left hip down, gaze under your left arm, stretch your palms away from your left hip. Breathe in, lift through center, exhale over to the other side, root the right hip down, stretch the palms away from the right hip. And then we'll inhale and come back to center. Exhale, bring your hands behind, clasp your fingers, hug your elbows in. There's a little bend in your elbows. Breathe in,
Lift your heart region up and begin to straighten the arms. Reach your knuckles toward the back of your mat. Let your sternum lift, let your head release back. Tops of the shoulders slide down the back away from the ears. Let's take another breath, expand across your chest. And exhale, release. And from here, bring your arms straight out in front of you. And we're going to cross your right elbow over your left. Clasp your shoulders, drop your chin to your chest and lower your elbows. Inhale and lift your elbows over to the right, up to the ceiling. Exhale to the left and down toward the floor. Keep that going, just circling, drawing circles with your elbow, but getting into the back. And then we'll pause as we complete this circle. And from here, we'll switch, and now left elbow over the right, clasp the shoulders, drop the chin to the chest, lower the elbows. Inhale, lift the elbows to the left, up to the ceiling. Exhale to the right and down toward the floor. Continue to circle at your pace. Maybe just noticing if you feel any differences circling in this direction versus the other way. And then pausing back in neutral, release. And from here, come onto your hands and knees into a tabletop shape. Shoulders over the wrist, fingers spread wide, and toes pointing back, hips right over the knees. Inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, reach your heart forward, gaze forward, keep gazing forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, hug your belly, and round your back, and draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, from the base of the spine, lift the sit bones, drop the belly, reach the heart forward, gaze forward. Exhale again from the base of the spine, tuck the tailbone, hug the belly, and round the back, chin to chest. So continue that fluid movement, arching as you inhale and rounding as you exhale, in sync with your breath. Move at your pace, in sync with your breath. And if you've got any favorite cat-cow add-ons that you'd like to throw in, feel free to add those in. You might want to move the hips a little side to side, maybe shake the head, maybe turn the fingers to face inward and give the wrists a little stretch. So just see what works for you at this time. Take another couple of rounds. And the next time that you're in your rounded back cat shape, sink back toward your heels, coming into an almost child's pose. Come onto your forearms, arch through cow, press the floor away, tuck and round, sink back. Inhale, arch, and exhale as you round. So just taking a little bit more dynamic variation of cat-cow. And we'll take one more round. And we'll end back in child's pose. Release the forehead to the mat. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Take a big breath into the back ribs. And exhale, release the hips toward the heels. Do that one more time. Fill up as you inhale. And exhale, let the hips be heavy. From here, press back into your tabletop shape. Curl your toes under and lift your sit bones up, dropping your belly down. So you're exaggerating the arch in your low back just a little bit. From that position, walk your arms out in front of you and release your chest toward the mat. Keep the sit bones lifting up and the torso dropping down. Then notice your neck. How does it feel if your chin is just above the mat? Or how does it feel if your forehead is just above the mat?
see what your preference is. It doesn't matter. The focus is on the space right between the shoulder blades. Breathe into that space. Might feel some sensation also under the arms, across the chest. Smooth flow of breath in and out through the nose. And then inhale and press yourself back into your tabletop shape. From there, we're going to bring the big toes together and the knees wide. Sink the hips back toward the heels. Stretch your arms out in front of you. We're back in Balasana, child's pose. Breathe in and walk your hands over to the right side. Keep that left hip pressing down toward the mat. And optionally place your left palm on top of your right hand. You continue to press the left hip back. Breathe into your left side body. Then inhale, walk through center. Exhale and come to the left. Root your right hip down and optionally place your right hand over your left. Lengthen the right fingers forward, press the right hip back, and breathe into your right side. Inhale, back through center. We're back in child's pose. Take your left hand, thread it under your right arm. Your palm faces up toward the ceiling. Stretch your left arm out in front of you. And then roll onto your left ear and come onto your right fingertips. You can stay right there. That might be the stretch you need. Or you might want to lift that right arm up and stretch the right fingers up toward the ceiling as you reach the left fingers forward. So revolve the chest and rib cage up toward the ceiling. And breathe. And then if you brought your right arm up, lower that down, slide the left arm out, and release back into Balasana. Now take your right hand and thread it under your left arm. Your palm faces up. Come on to your right ear, left fingers. Either stay right there, that might be what you need on this side, or lift your left arm up. Stretch the left fingers up toward the ceiling and reach the right fingers straight out in front of you. Revolving the left shoulder and rib cage up toward the ceiling. Smooth, even flow of breath in and out through the nose. And if you've lifted your left hand, bring that down. Slide your right arm out, and we're back in child's pose. Press your palms into the mat, spread your fingers wide, and from here, come on to your knees and curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and press back into downward facing dog. So for the first few rounds of breath in our first down dog, maybe we need a little bit of movement, waking up the hamstrings, just bending into one knee, pressing opposite heel to the mat, and switching, bending other knee, pressing other heel to the mat. It's moving back and forth at your pace. Maybe you want to add a little movement of the hips as you're bending the knees. Maybe the head needs to shake a little bit to let tension ease from the neck. Definitely check on that. You don't want to be holding tension in your neck. Then eventually begin to notice what's in contact with the mat. Feel your palms press into the mat, your fingers spread wide. Root down into that area between the index and the thumb. Then hug your thumbs in toward one another. Hug your upper arms in toward one another. Shoulder blades press toward the chest. Lift the hips up. Release the heels back and down. Feel the balls of the feet press into the mat. The heels may or may not touch the mat.
It doesn't matter, just sending energy from the hips down the legs to the heels. Now from here, just take your feet as wide as your mat and angle your toes just slightly in. Bend your knees. Press your palms into the mat. Feel the hips lift up. Let tension go from your neck. Release the shoulder blades toward the chest. So taking our down dog a little bit away from the legs in this variation and putting it more into the upper body. So notice what's going on in the shoulders, across the chest. Couple of breaths here. Feel the length of your spine. Press the palms into the mat. Stretch the sit bones up toward that place where the ceiling and the wall meet. Big breath in and out. And then bring your feet back into about hip distance for a traditional downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Look forward, exhale, step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. Exhale and release. Inhale again, lift the heart. As you lengthen the spine, can you press the heart forward and release the shoulder blades toward the chest, so we're taking some roundness out of the upper back. Exhale and fold. Option to bring fingers to shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. From here, bring your hands onto your low back, clasp your fingers, little bend in your elbows, hug your elbows in toward one another. Feel that broadening across your chest. Root the soles of the feet into the mat, and inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, maybe a little back bend at the top. Lift the heart up, reach the knuckles down. Exhale, release, and find Tadasana. So rooting soles of the feet equally into the mat. Lift the kneecaps, engaging the thighs. Draw the belly in, lift the sternum, relax the shoulders, reach up through the crown of the head, and reach down through the fingers. Take a breath in, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, navel to spine, bend at your elbows, lift your heart up toward the ceiling, and take an upper back bend, reversing that rounding in the thoracic spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus arms, navel to spine, lift the sternum toward the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, place the palms, step one leg back, step the other leg back. You're in a high plank, shoulders right over your wrist, fingers are spread wide, crown of the head reaches forward, toes pressing into the mat, balls of the feet pressing into the mat, heels reaching back behind you, and the core is active. Draw the hands isometrically toward the feet and the feet isometrically toward the hands, activating your core. Option to lower your knees here or stay with knees lifted for more of a challenge. Take a breath in, shift slightly forward, shoulders just past the wrist. Exhale, chaturanga for 5, 4, elbows hug in, 3, 2, and 1. Once you're down, flatten your feet against the mat. Check that your palms are alongside of your ribs. Press all 10 toes into the mat so much that your knees lift up. Roll your shoulders back, release them down. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Isometrically slide your hands back toward your feet. Reach the heart a little further forward. Hug the elbows in toward the rib cage. Your gaze is low. You're looking just past the front edge of your mat. Your nose points down. Exhale and release, forehead to the mat. Take a breath here. And we'll do that again, adding on.
Inhale, low cobra, head, neck, and chest lift. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Nose pointing down, back of the neck is long. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Lift the palms, hug the elbows in toward the rib cage. Take another breath, just hovering about an inch above the mat. And exhale, release, forehead to the mat. Rest for a breath or two. Now bring your hands onto your low back. Hug your elbows in toward one another. And your clasping fingers. Inhale, head, neck, and chest come off the mat as the knuckles reach back behind you. The heart is reaching forward. Keep your gaze low. Now begin to lift the feet. Maybe the shins and the knees, part of the thighs come up. Press through the ball of your feet and span your toes wide. Spread the toes, reach the heart forward, reach the knuckles back, reach back through the balls of the feet. Take another breath. Exhale, release, unclasp. Rest the arms alongside of the body. Turn your head to one side or the other. Just take a breath. In and out. One more breath. And now hands back to the low back. Reclasp, other thumb on top this time. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift the head, neck, and chest. Stretch the arms back behind you. Reach the heart forward. Lift the feet, the knees, maybe the thighs, just a part of the thighs. This time you're pointing through your toes and hugging the toes, the heels, the shins, the knees in toward one another. Reach the heart forward. Reach the knuckles back. Point back through the toes. And exhale, release. From here, let's go ahead and bring the palms alongside of the rib cage. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and press back.
Downward facing dog. So in down dog now our legs are active. The kneecaps lift, the thighs engage, the heels press back and down, balls of the feet pressing into the mat. Palms press into the mat, no tension in your neck, shoulder blades pressing toward the chest, and navel drawing toward the spine as the hips lift up, the thighs press back. And from here, breathe in, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot by your right thumb, drop your left knee down, flatten the top of the left foot against the mat, and on an inhale, rise up into Anjaneyasana, crescent pose, low lunge. Reaching up through your ring fingers as you root your right heel down. Lift your heart. Breathe in. And exhale, reach your hands behind, clasp, hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift the heart. And any amount, arch back. Inhale, lift a bit higher. Exhale, release. One more breath. And then unclasp, bring the arms back overhead as you breathe in. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale here and exhale, twist to your right. Stretch your arms out to the sides. Breathe in. Exhale, release the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Either hold right here or inhale, lift your left arm up. Your right hand is reaching down. It may or may not touch your left leg, doesn't matter. We're focusing on rooting that right heel into the mat and lengthening out of your left side. Lift the heart up. And then release, arms back out to the side. Breathe in, exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, palms to the mat, curl your left toes under. Step your right leg back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. You can always lower your knees for the vinyasas or skip them and just meet us in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From here, breathe in, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your left foot by your left thumb. Release your right knee, flatten the right foot against the mat. Inhale, press the left heel into the mat as you rise up. into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, engage the core. Reach up through the ring fingers, side body is long. Now bring your hands behind, clasp other thumb on top, hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, coil the thoracic spine. Exhale, one more breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Unclasp, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, cactus the arms, elbows wide. Inhale here. As you exhale, twist now to your left. Straighten your arms, reaching in opposite directions. You can hold right there. Or inhale, lift the right arm up. And the left hand reaches toward the back of the right leg. Doesn't need to touch. Rooting your left heel and lengthening out of your right side body. Lift the heart. And then we'll inhale, arms back overhead. And exhale, palms to the mat. Curl the right toes under, lift the right knee, and step the left leg back, and we're back in plank. Inhale, shift forward. You can always skip or modify this part. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows hug in. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and press it back to downward facing dog. Heels reach back and down. Breathe in, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Find that back bend here. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. And then release the arms alongside of the body. Find Tadasana, lifting the shoulders up, back and down, navel to spine. Soles of the feet rooting, crown of the head reaching. Moving into Utkatasana, chair pose from here. So bend your knees, sink your hips low, reach your arms overhead. Shift your weight into your heels. Might lift your toes just to make sure the weight really is in your heels. And then from here, I'm going to draw the navel to the spine and lengthen the low back toward the mat. Maybe sink a little deeper if you can. Breathe in, reach through the fingers. Exhale, cactus arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbows in line with the shoulders. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale, release. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, place the palms, step one leg back, step the other leg back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go out the mouth as you release the heels back and down. Next inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot forward and flatten your left toes to the mat. You're in a heel to heel or wider alignment. As you're ready, peel the torso off the thigh. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Root your right heel down, press your right hip back, your left hip automatically comes slightly forward, bringing your chest parallel to the front edge of your mat. From here, you're going to sweep your hands behind, clasp, hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift your heart, let your head release back. And exhale, forward fold, humble warrior, knuckles to the ceiling, crown of the head to the mat. Notice your shoulder blades, press them forward toward your chest. Take some rounding out of your upper back. Let your head be heavy, no tension in your neck. And then feel the strength of both legs. Use that and the connection of soles of the feet rooting to the mat to inhale and lift yourself back up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms back overhead. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step your right leg backward in a high plank. You can always skip or modify this part. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, everything in line, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward by your thumb. Flatten your right heel, angle your toes toward the top right corner of your mat. And as you're ready, peel the torso off the thigh. Rise up, Virabhadrasana, one left side. Root your left heel down, press your left hip back, outer edge of the right foot seals to the mat. The right thigh is engaged. Notice the torso in line with the front of the mat. Then from here, hands behind, other thumb on top, elbows hug in. Inhale, lift the heart, let the head release back. And exhale into humble warrior. Crown of the head to the mat, knuckles to the ceiling. Keep the legs strong. Release tension from your neck. You might even shake your head a little. And watch your elbows. You don't want to lock those out. Little micro bend that's not even visible in your elbows. Now find your shoulder blades. Press them forward toward your chest. Stay strong in your legs. Root the soles of the feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, unclasp. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, palms to the mat. Step your left leg back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. We're holding this down dog for 3 full breaths. So observing any differences between your first down dog of the practice and this down dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips low. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise to stand, hands together, heart center. From here, inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, place the palms, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, flatten your left heel to the mat, heel to arch alignment, airplane your arms open to the left. So check that your knee is over your ankle on the right side, root outer edge of the left foot to the mat. That left thigh is pressing back, and the right sit bone tucking under, torso right over the thighs. You're stretching the arms in opposite directions. Inhale and reach up. Imagine there's a bar above your head. Grab that bar. Exhale and bring that bar onto your chest. Elbows wide. Feel the shoulder blades draw together. Expansion across the chest. Inhale, reach up again. And exhale. Elbows wide. Inhale. Exhale. Now from this position, re-extend your arms shoulder height and gaze past your right middle finger. We're focusing on the upper body, but notice your legs. Keep them strong. Flip your right palm. Inhale. Reverse warrior. Lift and lengthen. Still keeping a bend in that right knee as you slide your left hand down your left leg. Breathe. Lengthen out of your right rib cage. And then inhale, back to warrior two. From here, press the ball of the right foot into the mat and straighten out your right leg without locking the knee. Hinge forward and then come over into Trikonasana. So revolve your chest and possibly your gaze up toward the ceiling if that's okay with your neck. If it bothers your neck to look up, to look straight in front of you or down at your foot. Feel an expansion across your chest and notice the strength of both thighs. Feel the soles of the feet rooting into the mat. From here, take your hands behind, clasp your fingers, hug your elbows in, and then begin to work the arms towards straight. At the same time, revolve your left chest and shoulder up toward the ceiling. And breathe. Find that back bend in the upper back. And then release the clasp. Come back into Trikonasana. Inhale up and over, reverse triangle. Bring your left hand up, take hold of your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release it back behind you, going deeper into the right side body. And then go ahead and release the arms back to the side. Bend the right knee, and we're back in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior just for a breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, step your right leg back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, everything in line, chaturanga. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips up, press back. Downward facing dog. Next breath in, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, flatten your right heel. Heel to arch alignment, airplane your arms open to the right. So check your alignment, knee over the ankle in line with the second toe. Outer edge of the right foot sealed to the mat. Right thigh presses back and the left sit bone tucking slightly under, torso right over the hips. And we're lengthening the fingers in opposite directions. And now flip the palms, bring the arms overhead. Grab that imaginary bar, inhale, exhale, and bring the bar onto your chest. Elbows wide, shoulder blades drawn together on the back. Inhale, back up, and exhale, keep the legs strong. Inhale, exhale, elbows wide, pause, stretch the arms out, gaze past your left middle finger, Virabhadrasana 2, with focus on the shoulders, but still keeping the strength of the legs going. Flip your left palm, inhale, reverse warrior, lengthen, reach up toward the ceiling, and arch back, slide your right hand on your right leg, lengthen out of your left side. Inhale, and we're back in Virabhadrasana 2. Root the ball of the left foot into the mat and straighten your left leg without locking the knee. Hinge forward and then release into Trikonasana, resting the back of the hand against the shin or maybe using a block. Now revolve chest and gaze up toward the ceiling, gazing up toward that right thumb. Keep both thighs engaged. And if that bothers your neck, you can always look down toward your toe or straight in front of you. Inhale, come up and over. Reverse Trikonasana, reverse triangle pose. So from here, bring your right hand up, take your left wrist. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, reach back. Going deep into the left side body. One more breath. And then release, bend your left knee, and we're back in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse warrior, just one breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, and step your left leg back, move through a vinyasa, which you can always skip, and meet us in downward facing dog. Three full breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then go ahead and release down onto your knees. And sit back toward your heels. We're preparing now for our peak pose, which is Ustrasana, camel pose, a very big heart opener. So come back onto your shins and keep your feet at about hip distance. I'm going to press the shins and the tops of the feet into the mat a lot. That will help protect your low back. Draw your navel to your spine, lift your shoulders back and down, and then bring your hands to your low back, your fingers facing down toward the floor. Hug your elbows in, broaden across your chest, keep rooting the shins and tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, arch back. Keep pressing your hips forward as you inhale, lift your heart, exhale, release back, keep pressing the hips forward and really rooting the shins and tops of the feet into the mat. One more time. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, release back. And then slowly come up, sit back toward your heels. Just take a break. We're gonna do that again with the option to add on, and it's just an option, you don't have to. So back onto your shins and tops of the feet, root down. Hands to the low back, navel to spine. Roll the shoulders back and down, broaden across your chest. Inhale, root down through the shins and tops of the feet. Lift the heart, press the hips forward. Exhale, arch back. Inhale again, and lift. Exhale, arch. Now option to stay right where you are, or reach your hands back for your heels. Keep pressing your hips forward. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, maybe let your head release back too. Tops of the feet still rooting into the mat and shins as well. Inhale, bring your hands to your low back and root down to rise back up. Exhale, release and find Balasana, big toes touch, knees wide, stretch the arms out in front of you. Release the forehead to the mat. You might want to just rock your forehead a little side to side. It's a nice massage for the third eye. Just feel the breath slowing down now. Back ribs fill up as you inhale, hips release toward heels as you exhale. And then slowly begin to press yourself back up. From here, draw the knees together, sit the hips to either side, swing the knees around, and we're just going to do a few forward folds to kind of balance out the practice because there was so much heart opening. So we're going to stretch that right leg on a diagonal from your right hip and bring the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Press the palms into the mat, get long in your spine. Now reach your arms overhead. Curl your toes toward your knee and press the top of your right thigh into the mat. Inhale, reach up through your ring fingers, turn and face your leg. Exhale, fold over your leg. Wherever your hands land, that's where they belong. If you have a strap and want to use that around the ball of the foot, feel free. Inhale again, hard forward. Exhale, release. So working with your breath, inhales invite length, and exhales are an opportunity to release. And the release might be that you go deeper into the shape, or it might be that you notice you have to let the shoulders relax a little more, you have to unclench the jaw. So one more breath. And then we'll inhale, come all the way back up, and switch sides. Left leg diagonal from your left hip, sole of the right foot to inner left thigh. Press the left femur bone into the mat, curl the toes toward the knee, bring the palms alongside of the hips. Inhale for length in your spine and reach your arms overhead. Reach up through your ring fingers, get a little bit taller. Turn and face your leg, exhale, and melt the torso over the left thigh. Inhale again, hard forward. Exhale, soften as you relax the shoulders away from the ears. An option to use the strap if that's your thing. Just breathing into the back of the left leg, anywhere else where you're meeting sensation. Take another breath, inhaling for length and exhaling for release. And then we'll inhale and slowly walk ourselves back up. From here, both soles of the feet touch, and we'll draw the feet in towards us. Knees are out wide.
So either, I'll give you your options, either you're bringing your hands alongside of your hips and pressing into the mat, lifting your heart, and using your breath to let the inner thighs release. That's a great choice for many people. If that works for you, stay there. If you want something different, hands back onto the feet. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, just begin to hinge forward. Start by pressing your elbows toward your inner thighs to release them a little closer to the earth. And then maybe inhale again, reach the heart forward. Exhale, hinge a little lower. Pause where you need to. Option also to stretch your arms out in front of you and release your forehead toward the earth. Take a few breaths here, wherever you need to be. There's many bodies and many ways of interpreting Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So find the one that works for your body at this time. One more long, slow breath. And then we'll inhale and come back up from here. Hands to the outside of the knees and draw the knees in toward one another. We're going to lower down onto our back, so check that you've got space behind you. Have your feet at hip distance. Stretch your arms out, palms face up. Inhale, lift your sternum, navel to spine, and exhale, press the soles of the feet into the mat, one vertebra at a time. Lower down, keep hugging the navel in toward the spine and pressing the feet against the mat. Once you come all the way down, bring your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side. And we'll take the knees as wide as the mat. That is, the feet as wide as the mat, and the arms out to the side. Drop both knees to your right, lift through center, and drop to the left. So just windshield wipering the legs from side to side, moving with your breath, inhaling as your knees lift, exhaling as they lower to each side. And just let tension melt away from the hips and the low back. We focused mainly on the upper back in this practice, but here's an opportunity just to let the low back release as well. And then we'll pause and bring both knees into the chest, and from here, one hand on each kneecap, circle the knees in opposite directions. A little bit of lubrication for the hip joints. And then reverse your direction. And then pause, bring the knees to the chest. Stretch your arms out at shoulder height with your palms facing up toward the ceiling. Breathe in, and as you exhale, roll to your left, dropping your knees to the left, and maybe turning your head to the right if that's okay with your neck. So your shoulders are both relaxing into the support of the mat. More important that the shoulders are against the mat than the knees touching the floor. Now just notice where the twist is happening. Your right rib cage revolves down to the right side of your mat, and your knees are pointing left. Just breathe into that space. And then inhale, lift through center, and exhale, release the knees to the right with the option to turn your head to the left. And again, check on the shoulders resting against the mat, more important than knees touching the floor. And just noticing now your left rib cage revolving left as your knees are pointing toward the right. And then we'll
inhale and bring both knees back to the chest, rock gently side to side. And now take hold of the outside edges of your feet, draw your knees alongside of your rib cage. If that's not doable in your body or not comfortable in your body, then bring your hands to the backs of your thighs, and from there draw the knees alongside of the ribs. So you have options. You might stay stationary here, just letting the shoulders and the back melt into the mat, or you might begin to rock a little bit from side to side. Happy baby. And then pause and bring the soles of the feet together. Clasp your hands around the outer edges of the feet. Open the knees wide. Let the shoulders relax. The tailbone sink into the mat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, release into Shavasana, final resting pose. Stretch your legs long. Let your feet relax to the sides. Tuck your shoulders under you, palms face up, close the eyes, take a breath in through your nose, exhale out your mouth, one more breath in through the nose, exhale slowly out the mouth, and then from there release any control of the breath, just allow it to flow naturally as you invite each muscle to let go of tension, focusing where we tend to grip a little bit more, so around the muscles of the face, the eyes, the jaw, the tongue, the throat, the shoulders, the hips. Let everything sink into the support of the mat and take this time to rest. Shavasana. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you're able to. The longer the better. If you are ready to come out, begin to reconnect with your breath. Gradually deepen it and lengthen it. Wiggle the toes and the fingers. Rub the thumb across the fingertips, noticing that sensation. And then bring the knees into the chest and slowly roll onto your side. Rest your ear against your upper arm. And then as you feel ready, gently pressing the palm into the earth, lifting the torso before the head, and finding a comfortable seat on your mat with the eyes still closed and the focus still inward. Palms down in a grounding gesture or palms up in a receiving gesture, your choice. Notice the sit bones rooting down, the crown of the head reaching up. Feel the length and the strength of your spine. Observe the softness of the breath in the front body. And then bring the hands together at heart center and bow the chin into the chest. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Take care. See you soon.